And today I have the OG Power Slap League athlete, the King of Kings, the Power Slap 15 Red Corner coach, the number one retired heavyweight striker, and former Power Slap title challenger, the King, Ryan Phillips. Welcome back to the Petty Corner. It's so good and refreshing to see you back.
Yeah, that's right. Back at Power Slap 15. Good to be here with Miss Petty. Missed you. Took a hiatus for a while, but glad to have you back.
Yes. And just a reference, when I say the OG Power Slap League athlete, for all of you new school fans, he was the first athlete that Power Slap ever announced to the world.
Yep. I
There's
was
a quick,
also one of the first three to ever be recruited. It was Crazy Hawaiian, Sheena, and me. But unfortunately, Crazy Hawaiian he didn't take the call, but I did, and so did Sheena. So we're the first two ever.
let's go. Oh, and Sheena's got a match coming up. We will talk about that later.
Oh
But
hell
like
yeah!
I said, it's so good and refreshing to see you back. You retired as the number one, I believe, last December or January. And now we see you back as a coach. Do you have that itch still to come back? Did that make you get that itch still to come back?
Well, I mean, truthfully, I never lost the itch. My retirement, it was there's a lot to it as to why I retired. Mainly, there was a lack of opponents. The ones that they were trying to give me weren't something that was exciting to me. But who knows? The door might open something fresh and new come here soon in the future.
Yes. And I feel like even since you retired, the sports evolved so much, like people's techniques and the competition and everything. So I would love to see you back. That would be amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. My even my own technique has evolved. I've learned a lot just by watching as well, and coaching. I have to evolve. I have to move with the times if I want to be a great coach. So, we took care of that, and we're going. We're doing it.
Yeah.
What's up, Chelsea?
Hey, yeah, we got Chelsea in the chat. She said King Ryan. Hey, she's a badass too. She was on our live stream watch party the other day.
Yeah.
Okay. How was it coaching? Is it like riding a bicycle? Because you were a coach before.
Uh, I'll be 100% honest. I was actually a little nervous because there's been some ring rust there. I don't know. I didn't know how the new people would accept me. Not only that, but this is also my first time coaching women. I've never coached women. Well, I think I coached Jackie once, maybe, but I was able to, coach the women and the ladies. And it was a great experience. Honestly, it was a lot of fun. It definitely exceeded my expectations. Apparently, I outperformed what I thought I could do because people are going nuts in my DMs. But it was just a fun time. I always like to go out there, have a great time, make sure that the athletes have a great time as well, and I take care of them on the stage and take care of them off the stage as well. So it was a great show all around.
I love it. And I love that you brought up the part that where you said you were nervous to coach the women. Is it because like, their bodies are different than men, so they have to move differently, different techniques and things like that? Or just what were the nerves there for?
Um, there was, there's times where I'll see someone like a Michael Michelle. I reached out to Michael Michelle because I wanted to help her. Since she was the up and comer, and she just ignored me. And I didn't want that to be like, hey, I'm a man, and I'm trying to mansplain or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like so. But no, it actually turned out great. The ladies were all of them were fantastic. I had Julia, Taylor, Ellie, Jackie on my team, which are four amazing, incredible women. Also Zoe Dubois, she was incredible too. I couldn't ask for a better team. I couldn't ask for also a better team to go against as well, especially with Coach Robert Trujillo. So it was altogether an all around amazing event. I thought it was one of the best events we had, and honestly, I'm exhausted. I'm still freaking out about it. It's been a wild week.
Still have that hangover? Okay, I just have to
Yeah,
ask
it's
you
like
this
an
too because
adrenaline
you,
hangover, right?
yeah, I just have to ask you this too because you've literally been here since day one. In your eyes, like the progression of the sport, how has that been?
The progression of the sport as far as people that we have recruited is way better. The the recruits that we have now are definitely a lot better than in the past. I guess I can give a special thanks to Sin Bodie, who's recruiting all the wrestler types. They really do transition well to this sport, and they're actually very good people, very nice people as well. And I was very surprised by that with dealing with them. So, um, yeah, but I do have to say that I don't know because a lot of them were trained beforehand at like combines and things of that sort. And some of the things they were telling me is some of the things that were trained to them. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. But a lot of people's games evolved this week due to my coaching. I know a lot of people reached out to me and were like, there's a couple of things that you tweaked that made the biggest differences on my match. And all it takes are sometimes is just small little adjustments, and it can make like these big differences. So I made a lot of adjustments with a lot of the athletes, and turned out very well.
Yeah. And I don't know if you want this out there or not, but I will say countless times new people came in after you retired and they were like, I owe a lot to Ryan Phillips because he coached me. So you've still been working behind the scenes even though you were retired.
Yeah, no, I definitely have been helping a lot of the athletes behind the scenes. I tell them, you don't have to really mention me at all. I just want to see, a lot of it I do because, a lot of the defense, the defense aspect of this sport is kind of still, people trying to still figure it out. Um, with me, I think I already have it figured out. So I teach that to a lot of people, just for their safety, just so we can have nothing happen extremely any broken faces or noses like a la Chelsea Dodson. Not to
Oh
bring
my
her up,
gosh. Okay,
but
hold on one second. I was there live for that, and that was mortifying. That was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
she's
Like,
a tough
you can
cookie.
even hear my little clips that I posted, after the match, and I literally was like, "Oh my god!" And I was shook. Like at
Yeah,
that, like for the next, like I wasn't even there for the next couple of matches because I was mortified. It
yeah, it was
was
vicious. I'll
brutal.
tell you that. But man, she is tough to just stand there and even she wanted to continue. And that was pretty telling. That
Yeah,
was pretty awesome.
yeah. And after she got her surgery, she was just like, "Put me in."
Yeah, she's a badass,
Thank you,
definitely.
soldier. We got
um,
Big West here. He said, "King Ryan, much respect."
much respect to Big West as well, my man. Thank you, buddy.
He's got a match coming up too, but we'll get into that later. Okay,
Great,
so let's get
great match. Great match.
yes, let's get into the matches. The first one opened up the card. Amazing performance from Stunt Marshall.
Oh
Look at
yeah.
Chelsea's over here laughing. What's up, Esteban? We got Chelsea over here laughing. Okay, Stunt Marshall. We still don't know if he can take a slap. And I said this on the live stream. It's almost like history repeating itself because when the Chief first came into Power Slap, he never took a slap for his first few matches because he won the coin toss and took him out in the first round at both middleweights, and we're seeing that happen again. He did get a few call outs. The Chief called him out, and Brandon Rhodes called him out, but Stunt Marshall is just like a freak of nature. Like normally when you see people first come into the sport, they're nervous, their technique a little bit off, and they kind of figure it out on their second match and everything. His very first swing, I personally think it was an extremely great technique. His feet didn't move, landed perfectly. He's got the power, he's got the speed, all that. I will say it was amazing. It was like really refreshing, just like to see you back, to see AJ back, because we haven't seen him in a while. And much respect to him. No one can ever take away from him. He was the first light heavyweight champion in the sport. Always, he'll
Absolutely.
always be cemented in the power slap history. Just an incredible performance from Stunt Marshall. But yeah, coaching them, what was that like for you? And what are your thoughts on their match?
Yeah, so me and AJ obviously, he's a really good friend of mine. We talk every day. So being in AJ's corner was fantastic. It was another he I actually coached him for the Vern match, so it was something like that. But
Wait, you guys were in the house together when him and Azael had the beef and
yep,
all that.
we were in the house together. We were in the qualifier together. I mean, AJ is he's just like me. We've been there since the beginning. He's definitely a pillar of Power Slap. You can't think of the history and the beginning of Power Slap without Static, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Vern match, him and Vern was probably the best comeback in the history of Power Slap until Nate and Aaron. But I'm sure we'll get into
Yes.
that here. But Stunt Marshall. What can I say? Stunt Marshall is a character. He's definitely he's been around. He's a wrestler. He's been around towns. He's been, doing his thing, and I'm sure that's helped him, calm him down because he looks really comfortable up there, like you said. So, I can agree with that. Now his slap is good. The technique is really well. There's a couple of tweaks that he can make that'll give him more power, and he will need that going up into the higher ranks. Absolutely. AJ, AJ, me and him have some work to do. His defense, I didn't want to change his defense because if you make a lot of adjustments within the week of the fight, it could cause like an overload of thought, and you have to go up there clear minded. So I didn't want to change AJ's defense too much. I gave him, some things that he can use to better it. But AJ kind of gave him his chin. His chin was he did like this scrunchy thing, but it ended up aiming his chin upwards, which was crazy. And we're gonna go over it, talk about it. And from what I know, Frank and the presser said that AJ is gonna be back.
Yes,
So
he did say that.
right, and I saw that, and that makes me very happy, and definitely deserves to be back. Absolutely. But Stunt, hey, we'll see what he's got. It could be another situation like you were speaking of with Kiali. He never took a hit, and then all of a sudden he took a hit, and then it didn't end up well for him, unfortunately. And knock on wood, hopefully he fixed that, and he's going to be getting back up there, and hopefully he takes those hits because he's a tough fucking guy. That the Chief, I love the Chief.
Yeah.
Um, but we'll see. Right now we still have a big question mark on Stunt Marshall. Can he take the hit? And in my opinion, I think people will reach out to him and help him and give him some pointers on how to take the hit. He can reach out to me anytime. I told him, and I'll definitely explain the defense. But um, still a question mark. We'll see. We'll see.
Yes. And I wonder, like, AJ's been out for so long. I feel like it's been over a year, maybe a year and a half, closer to 2 years. Maybe he had a little bit of ring rust and the big spotlight, and the events are bigger than when he was in, like, since the last time he competed. There's so many more people. So, yeah, it'll be wonderful to see him back and get back in that win column.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think AJ was good. He was in the moment when I was walking out with him and everything. He was really calm and collected. His thought process and focus was still there. It was just the defense. The defense, what he did, um, and what he presented to me and what he did were like I was like, I don't think that's a good idea. In my head, I didn't want to say that to him coaching, but in my head, the defense was kind of off. So we're gonna work on that, and you'll see a better AJ come here in the future.
Yes, I do think, because I said this on my live stream, and like it might be in my little clip or not. I think it is in the little clip that I posted today. I think he got up too quick. Sometimes you just need to stay down and take a knee and then get up on 7 or 8. You just try to, but when you get stung, like I've talked to some of the strikers before, because I've never taken a slap. I would never do it. Much respect to you guys. Sometimes when you just get stung, you don't know what's happening. You just try to bounce right back up, but like you need to just stay there for a couple seconds, just to regain your composure.
Right. Well,
Then you
I
try to
got
shoot up.
I got to be real with all of you, even to the people that are, kind of new to this. There's a lot of things that go into stopping the fight. You can see the person trying to get up and they're wobbly and etc. But you don't hear things. You don't see the up close. And I was there up close, and there was some sounds that were made that gave them the reason to stop the fight, like snoring. If you snore, I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
that's not good for you. So AJ snored a little bit there. I think it was a good stoppage, even regardless. I think he was not out, but he was definitely not. I
Not
wouldn't
there.
put him up there for a second one. Let's just be honest with. I'll be honest with you there. Um, but like I said, it's his defense. The defense was something that worked in the beginning. But now that, like you said, the sport has evolved and everyone is figuring it out, and now you're taking very, very big and punishing fast slaps because people are figuring out the technique and whatnot. So we just have to work on the defense, and he'll be better when he gets up there next time. I can promise you.
Okay, we have someone in the comments saying, I sort of think it's best for AJ to retire. His chin is gone. I don't agree with that. I just think that, like we said, the sport's evolved so much since we last seen him. And he faced a really tough competitor. And maybe the nerves got the best of him, and then just all the other factors that we talked about, the defense and everything. But let's
Yeah, I
move
don't.
on to Hollywood Haley J and Ellie Dempster. I think that Ellie shocked the world. Met both of them. Well, I interviewed Ellie, met Holly in New Orleans. Both incredible women and competitors. Ellie shocked the world, put the whole flyweight division on notice. Her first fight, it was against Michael Michelle. She took the fight on 3 weeks' notice because Paige fell out of that. Much respect for her to do that. She had to lose a bunch of weight to get in there. She looked like a completely different person, like coming on stage the first time and the second time. So the first time, it was rushed. She had to lose a bunch of weight. She didn't know what she was doing. Now, the second time she came, her physique looked completely different. Her demeanor looked completely different. Everything about her looked completely different. And she got the knockout in the first round. And that's something that anyone in the flyweight division has not been able to do yet, was get a knockout. So credit to her. She has a bright future. I want to see her and Paige next. And I would love to see Haley back because she's got that energy and she's just a bad girl. But yeah, you were in Ellie's corner, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So how was that for you?
It was really good. I saw Ellie versus Michael, and it was a disqualification. But Ellie showed some grit and toughness and some heart up there. Going all 3 rounds, taking all 3 shots, especially from Michael. Michael actually has a nice slap. It's not bad at all. It does need work, but it for what it's worth. What she's starting with is a pretty good foundation. So I think Michael is a competitor, or not just a competitor, but someone that could fight for the title one day. As far as Ellie is concerned, Ellie she's a when I first met her, she was mysterious. I didn't know really anything about her. She wasn't necessarily there for the practice, so I was like, oh boy, here we go, diva mentality. At first, my first thoughts were like, oh boy, she's just gonna not take this seriously, do whatever she wants, look for popularity, that type of deal. I was completely wrong. She's definitely taking this very seriously. Her training is top notch, apparently. She used to live in Thailand for 10 years. She recently just moved back here. So she's actually a premier athlete in my opinion. She has, I don't think anyone knows this, but she's had 9 knockouts already in combat sports. So this is her 10th knockout that she's had.
And she's fought in karate combat too.
Right, and she should have won that match. Unfortunately, she lost. But if you watch it back, she was doing very well. She
I
has
think she blew
incredible.
her knee out.
Yeah, she has incredible technique. Her head movement, you can see she's very detail oriented. So that's something I noticed. And getting to know her has been really awesome. She's a very sweet girl. I actually met her mom as well at the after party. So and she's very sweet as well. Shout out to Ellie's mom. But no, she's definitely someone that can not only drive her division forward, but drive the entire sport forward. She's pretty much got it all. She's going to be a huge success in my opinion in the future. And very interested to see the future that she has.
Yes. And actually, Frank spoke about her in the post show press conference, and he said he believes that she will be helping leading the women's divisions in Power Slap. So you got to give credit where credit's due. Phenomenal performance. And she's donating, or not donating, she is not auctioning. Yeah, auctioning. She's auctioning off her shoes and donating the money to St. Jude. So love to see people
Yes.
get back to. But I'm so glad her mom got to make it because when I talked to her last time, she's from Canada, so her mom couldn't make it because it was such short notice. But now she had a while notice. Or her, I'm glad that her family got to come together.
Yeah, extremely nice people. I mean, and every Canadian that I've ever met has been extremely nice. Um, the match, we didn't really talk about the match too much though, but I don't know if anyone really noticed, but um, when when Ellie knocked her down, I'm sorry, but Robert got on the stage and actually
Yes.
grabbed and
Oh,
held
actually,
her.
Yes, I actually wanted. I had that in my notes. How
Yeah.
Rob picked her up because you're not allowed to do that, right?
So that's like, honestly, that's like an immediate forfeiture of match. Once, if the coach touches the athlete on stage, or gives her any sort of external help, I believe that's the forfeiture of match. So, you see Haley J, who's tough as nail. Oh, and I haven't talked about Haley at all, but Haley
Yes.
J is also someone that's gonna push her. This woman's division forward. I honestly, I think it's time, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's time that we have an all female road to the title.
Yes, I have been preaching that. I even made like an all women's card, and now there's even way more women than last time. And Haley had an amazing performance last time. She dropped her opponent last
Yeah,
time too. So
exactly. I mean, these girls are really doing the damn thing. I mean, I bet you if the coaching roles were reversed and I had Haley as opposed to Ellie, I bet you I could have actually pulled some more power out of Haley's slap, and you never know. Could have been a different story,
mhm.
but she's definitely someone that needs to be praised, and someone who's going to be looked after as far as her division is concerned. She's going to be a big name, absolutely.
I've been
Um,
saying that forever.
yeah, she has. But
I have.
Ellie, Ellie, she's there right now. I mean, that knockout, it was perfect. It was perfectly placed. Her technique, perfect. I once again I gave her a few tweaks, and it's just so odd that you can have someone, they could throw a slap, and you could just make very small, minute tweaks, and it makes just these gigantor differences in people's power. And that's exactly what happened with Ellie. She just, wow, she listened, and yeah, it worked.
Yes. But it seems like they might have canceled Road to the Title this year. They didn't have one. So, I mean, I hope
Yeah, there's
they bring it back and make it all women's because they keep for a while they just kept bringing in any women that would want to join and they had anywhere from 115 to 170, but now we are just seeing on the undercard so many women matches. I feel like there is enough to do a whole Road to the Title of women for all different weight classes.
Yeah, I believe so too. There's a lot of interest on the outside as well. Yeah, it was I think it's time. It's time for sure. Especially with now Ellie, being up there. Paige, her and Paige, definitely will bring a lot of eyes to the sport. Obviously, they're beautiful women. And this is a male dominated sport, so a lot of males are going to be tuning into that, I'm sure.
Yes. I will say my only disappointment with the women's division is I will stand on this. I firmly believe that Jackie and Sheena's second match, that I think it happened in Abu Dhabi or Saudi Arabia. It was either Abu Dhabi or Saudi Arabia. I think it was Abu Dhabi. That should have been for a title.
Yeah.
Sheena
Yeah,
was the
yeah.
first
Well,
lady of Power Slap.
here's the thing, right? With Jackie, and I'm sure we're going to talk more about her. Jackie, I believe, is fighting at too heavy of a class.
Yes. Oh, we'll get into that when we get to Jackie's match because I talk to Jackie every now and then, and I know her plans. And when she weighed in, I knew she was way lighter than she's ever come in before, and she's been
Right.
keeping her weight down and everything. But let's move on. We'll move on to the third match was Brandon Rhodes and Trenton Bordeaux. I want to preface this and say, Trenton, you're a fucking savage for taking that match. Personally, I do not like when newcomers come in and face people with experience. There's a reason why they do pre-recordings and they're all new people on it. It's to give them that little taste of it to get their before all the big bright lights and everything. Trenton went up there in a full arena against someone who I don't know what Brandon Rhodes' record is, but Brandon Rhodes is a badass. Like we've seen all of his matches. So just to get in that full arena up against a tough opponent, like he already had a uphill battle against him. So I just wish he would have gotten the other experience that newcomers get in. They're on the pre-recordings just to get that little taste of it, and then move on to a regular card. Not against someone who has a bunch of experience, but can't wait to see him back. He did show that he's got that dog in him though. He was kind of confused when they stopped it, and it looked like he wanted to keep going. but Brandon Rose is not somebody to mess with. They actually just moved him up. I believe he's number two or three in the
Right.
rankings as of today, so which means he should be getting a title shot soon. Um, but yeah, Trenton had great form. But Brandon Rose, that experience and that power, it's kind of hard to to battle against that. But you were in Brandon's corner, I believe. What was that match like in your perspective, and what did you see out of them?
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not the biggest fan of putting a debutante up against someone who's had six matches. A la Russell and Bear Bennett. Bear Bennett being my friend. That when they did that, I was like, what are they thinking? Putting someone who just knocked out a champion up against a guy who's debuting. It seems like they've been doing that quite a bit. But with this match, experience is everything. As much as I love the Butcher brothers, he was at an extremely big disadvantage walking into that match, and I don't care how tough you are, but there's nothing like taking that slap full force head on, and you can't really replicate that unless you do it, so Trenton was at an extreme disadvantage from the get go, and Brandon Rhodes is getting better and better and better. His slap when I was in the back helping him with his slap, it's evolved and it is terrifying. It's actually extremely powerful, and he's lifting weights. He's focused. Brandon is, in my opinion, has been someone that was always at the top, and should be at the top of the game. Um, but I'm excited to see what comes for him next. Yeah, he's at number 3 right now. I saw in the division, which is excellent. That's where he belongs. But Trenton, hats off to Trenton. You're right. He got up there in front of a big crowd. Did his thing. He had a great slap. He was trained by Brandon, of course, who, in my opinion, was one of the greats. Definitely someone that is in the history books. There's no other butcher than the Butcher Bordeaux. But
And
yeah.
Brian Battle, UFC the Butcher. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, Brian Battle. But Trent will be back. I can see him doing very well. Give him some competition that is where he's at, and he'll excel. They should give him,
Yes,
a new guy now. I think, and
he
see
needs to
what he
get that
does.
experience.
Yeah, he
But
needs to get some
one thing I
experience.
forgot to mention, I feel like Slap News posted a little while ago that Brandon Rhodes was originally supposed to fight John Davis, but then John
Yes,
Davis couldn't fight, so Trenton stepped up. So
yes,
that's
yes.
why that match happened. But I mean, I was entertained either way. So
Yeah, it was a good match. Good match for Brandon. That slap is furious. Definitely look out for him. Don't count him out if he goes for the championship. That slap is it's pretty nuts.
yes. Okay, and then this was probably one of the more controversial matches on the card. Juicy and Zach. A lot of people thought that Zach won. Um, Actually, first off, I just want to ask you your opinion because there's weight classes for a reason, and I'm not knocking anyone or shaming weight or anything, but super heavyweight is just 265 and up, so there's no cap on that. But in the last few cards that we've seen, there were super heavyweights that had like a significant weight difference between opponents. Do you feel like there should be a cap of the difference in weight with opponents? Because I believe McKinney Manu and Dwayne Crespo had like 100 or maybe over 100 pounds. And then Juicy and Zach, I believe there was like 80 pounds.
So it's funny because they tried to put a cap on the super heavyweight division. They tried to make the cap 385. They tried to get all the guys down, start working out, get them down to 385, but no one did. There's like
Yeah.
maybe 3 or 4 of them actually made it, and then they're like, there's like a bunch of them are like, I can't do it, man. I can't get under 400 pounds. So yeah, I guess there's really no cap. Should there be? I mean, I think in fairness, probably, yeah, there should be. If you have someone that's coming in over 100 pounds on you, that's a huge disadvantage, in my opinion. You can throw that weight around, that creates extreme amounts of power. But they tried. No one really listened. No one really could do it. So I guess you just move on from there.
Yeah. But it
But
was a
that
good
match was
match between
crazy.
both of them. Nobody got dropped. I don't think anybody's going to be able to move Juicy just because of his size.
And Zach.
But Zach was looked like he had some really powerful strikes against him.
Yeah.
I was surprised because did you watch Zach Lansing's first match?
Yes. Yes, I did.
So like his technique where he like flailed his arm, like I've never seen a technique. I was expecting to see that again, but he completely changed up.
Yeah, his slap is pretty devastating. I watched a video of him hitting there's like a head on top of a punching bag, and he was just going crazy, and they were furious slaps for sure. But yeah, I mean, both of those guys have a bright future. Absolutely, Zach is super tough. He didn't move. I mean, he's getting hit by a 500-pound man, and he's not moving, and that to me is just a feat in itself. So, I see a bright future for Zach. I see a bright future for Juicy. Juicy, he's he's uh he's unique. He's such a nice guy. Um,
Yes.
but he's like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. He's just a warrior. He's one of those like Aztec warriors, like spiritual, you know.
And
And
his walkout song, Walking Out to Arthur, how iconic is that?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. The guy is great. I can't wait for him, to do his thing. With that match, another thing is he, I had Juicy working the crowd a lot. He was working the crowd, having them cheer and stuff like that. And I think, in my opinion, I think that helped persuade the match into his favor.
Yeah. He might have played off the strengths a little bit better. Because there was one round where I believe Zach felt like he got struck higher. So he pointed to it, and that showed like, oh, that affected me. Where Juicy was like, ah, like even like it did sting him. Like you could tell it stung him, but he was not. He was like, nah, like I'm good, you know.
Brushed it off.
But they
Yeah.
did both make it into the rankings. I believe Juicy was in the rankings from his last time, but Zach did make it in the rankings at number 9, and Juicy got moved up to number 6. So
Well,
that means we should see good things for them both coming up next.
good. Yeah, I'm excited. Excited for both of them. I definitely had a good vacation with both of them. Me and Zach talked quite a bit, and I'm excited for Juicy as well.
Yes. Okay, now we're getting to Jackie and Abby. Okay, so Slap News did report on this that Jackie was moving down to 135. I was actually with Jackie when she told Dana White that I want to move down to 135. Uh, Sadly, that didn't happen for her this match. And like I've spoken to her, and she's like, like KO Chris's sister came in after she told him that. She's like, I would stay there just because the storyline with her and KO Chris and all that drama and stuff. She's like, I would
Right.
stay there and I would fight KO Chris, Jackie versus Jackie. Like that was like a whole thing for a while. But I really would have loved to see her move down to 135 for her next match because she normally, I feel like, I don't, and I'm not really too positive, but I feel like her weight, she normally walked around 150, 145, like right on weight, because she's the type of person, she doesn't get ready, she just stays ready for whenever the call is for her next MMA fight or power slap fight. I want to say, if I'm correct, she came in at 141 this time, but even like a week or two before that, she was weighing in at 138. So she kind of put on weight to for here, where Abby may have been cutting. I don't know what Abby's weight was. But Abby is a badass. She came in to the sport, got a knockout against KO Chris's sister, and she is the only woman to defeat Clarissa Shields. If you guys don't know who that is, she's the GOAT of women's boxing. She's like a 5-time division champion, 2 or 3-time Olympic champion. Couple times undisputed, has fought in MMA, and literally number 1 pound for pound woman boxing. Abby beat her in MMA. So Abby has a great resume herself. But yeah, I think it was a great match. Jackie, her strike improved so much this match, like so much. And I was so proud to see that because I love Jackie. That's my girl. But yeah, so it was good to see that, and she took the hits very well. I mean, there was one that kind of stung her, but yeah, but yeah.
Yeah.
So what was it like coaching? And I mean, it went down to decision. Unfortunately, Jackie seemed pretty disappointed. Doesn't have a great track record right now, but I would love nothing more to see her at 135 because she has that power, and I think it's going to be very damaging in the bantamweight division.
Yeah, Jackie. Jackie is one of my favorites. I'm very proud of her. She definitely came in and she listened to what I had to say, and we definitely made a few tweaks to her strike. I made sure that we grabbed enough power and all that she has because she's a strong woman. She's definitely a
Yes.
warrior. That's someone
Yeah.
that
Like
you know.
I don't want no problems with Jackie. That's why I'm friends with her.
Me neither.
I got her on my
Yeah.
side.
Yeah. So she's tough. She's one of the toughest women in this sport, and I think when she gets to her proper weight class, she's going to be a problem, in my opinion, future champion. She has that ethic, like you said. She stays ready. She's evolving. She's always evolving. Her ears are open. She's always listening to constructive criticism. She's just one of those people that, in my opinion, is a all around athlete. She's MMA, BJJ, wrestling, everything. So she is definitely one to watch and one of my favorites. Like I said, her match against Abby, it was tough. Abby's. I don't know if you watched the weigh-ins, but when she flexed, it was like, oh, okay. I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit. Like, damn, this girl is monstrous. Compared to
Yeah.
Jackie at the time, she was huge. So
Well, yeah, even on the broadcast, you can see the size difference. And I believe Bisping and Dan Helly spoke about it.
I'm sure. But yeah, there was a major size difference there. But you know the Jackie took them all. I mean, what can you say? Like she got up there, she took every single slap. Her toughness is unparalleled. I was blown. Honestly, I was blown away by her toughness. I know how tough she is, but this match proved that Jackie is one of, if not the toughest women on the roster. Um, and I
Did
just
she
saw
win
Chelsea
twice?
chime in, but and she's one of the toughest too. But Jackie is just like holy shit, like she is extremely tough. And with the weight thing, I now I'm you got me thinking because I went to the Heart Attack Grill with Jackie, and she was just eating like it was a normal day.
Hmm.
So she was definitely underweight for this match. She had to put on pounds. Obviously, she was eating a ton. She got my ass kicked at the Heart Attack Grill. I'm never gonna forgive her
I
for that.
saw those videos. I wish I had them to clip them in here right now.
That was Jackie's idea. Thank you, Jackie. Um, she said since I'm not competing, I should take some hits. So I took him to the rear. But
Did you talk to Dana about making that a sport?
no, I did not. I did not talk to Dana. But no, Jackie, when she gets to her proper weight class, it's over. She's gonna be a killer. I guarantee you, she's gonna be holding a belt. You can mark that, you clip it, whatever you have to do. Um,
Yes.
I believe Jackie will be champion one day, and just proud of her all around. Just really proud of her. She's an amazing woman, amazing role model for women and girls, and she's just what Power Slap is about.
Yes. Jackie stays booked and busy. Like and I've said this to her. Like I don't know how you do all this stuff. Like
Right.
she's an electrician. She was a county sheriff. She was a firefighter. She's trained to MMA. She like there's so many
Yeah.
things. Like I'm gonna miss like 20 things. Like she does it
Yeah.
all at once. Like
Right.
that's an amazing role model. It's like just if you're gonna do something, do it.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's incredible. She's an incredible person, and I think she's a fan favorite. Across the board, she should be if she's not.
Yeah.
They should definitely take a deep dive into her life because she's got an interesting life.
Yeah. I did one a
But
long time ago, but maybe I need to like reclip it.
right, but Abby on the other hand, like holy shit, what's next for her, right?
Yeah. Oh,
And
if Sheena wasn't booked right now, I would want to see her and Sheena next.
I was just about to say
Just
that
like who else is there?
A Sheena Abby match would be phenomenal. I mean,
Yeah.
you got both top tier MMA athletes. You got, I don't know too much about Abby, but I see like Poatan is commenting on her stuff, and she beat
Yeah.
Clarissa Shields, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Things like that. To have her in this sport like that is incredible. But a Sheena versus Abby match has to be something that comes next. I have to see that
Yes. And it has
for a
to be for a
title.
belt because Sheena deserves it. I will say this, I was kind of disheartened. Like I was so excited that the women's division was gonna finally get a belt. I was disheartened a little bit that Sheena was not gonna be the first woman fighting for a belt because
Noted.
she's literally been here since day one. So I just feel like to put some respect on her name. Like, she deserves that. That's why I said earlier, like, I firmly believe that Jackie and Sheena should have been for a belt. That was at the time the biggest rematch in Power Slap.
Yeah, no, Sheena deserves it. She was, like I said, she was one of two. I was the first, and she was. I mean, I think me and her were both the
Yeah,
first to get
she
in
was the
there.
first woman. You were the first man.
Yeah, basically. So if anyone deserves a title shot or some piece of hardware, it's Sheena for sure.
Yes.
So hopefully that comes about soon. This next match for her is with Robin Wershek, who's very tough. I think Robin is a extremely good competitor.
Yeah.
So
And she's
Sheena's
so fun
got
to watch.
yeah, she's fun. So Sheena's got her work cut out. Um, you know, in my opinion, I'm hoping Sheena wins so we can finally get her. A proper match with Abby would be amazing for the title. Let's do it.
Yes. Hold on, somebody put this. Sheena and Jackie should have been for a belt. When you think of Power Slap women, both those names come. They're literally like cemented in history, the first names. Because even all the opponents, and no disrespect, but most of the opponents that Sheena faced in the beginning, like, they're not in the sport anymore. But like
Right.
Jackie and Sheena are still continuing their stories and everything. So, but Sheena, they called her the first lady of Power Slap. That was her name. So that's why
Yeah.
I just feel like she deserves the belt first, or at least
Yeah.
a shot at the belt first. So,
Agreed.
Sheena, we love you and we're rooting for you. But Robin, I also love you too. So good luck.
Yeah. Absolutely. Every competitor. We respect to every competitor that gets up
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely Sheena needs her title shot, and I believe it'll come here soon. No problem. If once she gets that win over Robin, it should be up next.
Yeah, no questions asked. All right. This match, Nate versus Aaron. If you faced Nate before, we have Aaron coming in. First draw sudden death ever in Power Slap history. They changed that because of Chelsea Dodson and Paige Van Zant and Crazy Wine and Dumpling, because they were in Abu Dhabi last October, and both of those matches went to they went to a draw, and like the crowd was cheering one more round. The
Yeah.
king,
Yeah.
best coach ever. The Nate's in the chat. He said the king and best coach ever. Yes. So, dude, I lost my shit when I was like, oh my god, it's the first. It's the first. Like, we've been fucking waiting for this. And there were some matches that I'm like, I feel like this should go to a sudden death. Never happened. And of course, the one Power Slap I don't go to, I bet the crowd was going fucking wild, like going berserk. um,
Yeah.
but yes, incredible match. This is one match that it's like you love the matchup, but you hate it at the same time because Nate and Aaron are both like amazing, incredible people. Both humble, both super respectful to everybody. They both come from similar backgrounds, so that's why you love to see that matchup. But like, you want to see it, but you don't want to see either of them lose. And yeah, actually, Chelsea did call it, which that clip's coming out soon. She's like, "Oh, it's going to a draw." Our reaction's coming out soon. But yeah, Aaron, love the guy. Needs to work on his flinching. I was trying to defend the flinching. I was like, no, but he's getting better. Like, he only flinched once. And everyone was like, you're not allowed to flinch. I was like, yeah, you're right. But I was like, I'm just saying, like, he went from flinching 3 times to only flinching once in the fight. So we did see improvement there. Nate, incredible fucking technique. Like, his form, perfect. But yeah, so from coaching point of view, you fought Nate before. You guys had your battles. What was it like coaching him and being in that match with them and going to a sudden death?
Yeah. First off, hats off to both guys. Incredible toughness from both of them. Nate's head hit the fucking table on the first
Yeah,
hit.
I said that he pulled the Vern. Like when
Yeah,
Turpin hit
yeah,
Vern, he was
but
like,
he got up and he continued, and it was like holy shit, like it was like a Terminator moment where he just stood up, and I was like, holy fuck, this guy. And but I know Nate very well. Like you said, I fought him. I knew what he's made of, and after our fight, I said, hey man, I'd like to give you some pointers. I want to see the big man get in there. I want to see him do his thing. So, me and Nate, we talk a ton and definitely talk a lot about slap game. And even before this match, months prior, we've been, working on things together. And then I got to get my hands on him finally, and we did the whole damn thing. Like we just redid him. It was his defense is 100% better. His obviously his slap, as you said, is looking incredible. As for Aaron and his flinching, I mean, dude, you're standing in front of Nate fucking Bernard, the biggest man. You
The
got to be a
Buffalo Soldier.
you got to be a fucking psychopath to even want to stand there and to I mean, talking for myself, like I was when I fought Nate myself, I was like, Jesus Christ, here we go. Like I'm like, oh god, I'm in trouble. I was even shaking in my.
Wait, wait, wait. That was the match that you headbutted him, right? And tripped over Chris Tione?
Oh, he headbutted me this match too. He like came up to me and just like boom, headbutted me right in the head. So I mean, we're 2 for 2 now, coaching and headbutting here. But the energy was unbelievable. And Nate wants it. Nate is that guy. That's another person that I believe one day is going to be a champion. I think with the tools and the utilities that I'm helping him with coaching. I think he's going to be able to take it all the way. There's little more tweaks that we have to make, but we're gonna make them. And he's wanting to make them. He wants this really bad. And
Yes.
I know this fight has him just juiced to the gills. He's probably so ready to get back in there for another one. But when all was said and done, it was a close match. But Aaron, him too. He's incredible himself. Like he's only had 4 matches or 3 or 4 matches
I think
himself.
3 before that.
Yeah, so he's been looking really well. So it was a very dangerous match. I mean, both guys are big guys. I love both of them. Like you said, they're amazing people. Got to know Aaron this week as well. We've been talking a little bit here and there, but got to meet him finally. And yeah, just like advertised, he's such a great guy. But I think the draw was definitely it was definitely a draw at the third round. With Nate being knocked down, and then Aaron's flinch. But with like I said, you're facing Nate Bernard. I mean, holy shit, you're facing a brick
Yeah.
fucking wall.
He's been in the
That
top
draw.
since day one.
Yeah,
Um, uh, I
but
will
let me
say this though too.
let me end it though real quick.
Sorry.
When Herzog, because Herzog came up to me with this gigantic smile on his face and he's like, "It's going to sudden death," and my heart and my body, like I could not like contain it. It was like like yes, and then Nate, I got with Nate, and my favorite moment was me, Nate, and Aaron just all like going like this and getting the crowd pumped up. And like you said, the crowd was berserk. It was deafening. You couldn't hear a thing when we were going and getting the crowd pumped when the sudden death was announced. And then Nate comes out with a perfect hit, putting Aaron down, and it was just all she wrote. It was a full circle moment for Nate, not only Nate but for me as well, because I've been trying to help Nate.
Your
Um,
history with him.
yeah, and just all everything that we've been through together, and I gave one for Buffalo.
Yes. I will say this. Nate or Aaron's never been dropped before. And he's faced like OG, Brian Ellis, Roe. So when Nate fell out of the match in New Orleans because he got sick,
Yeah,
Roe Montana stepped up and he just moved down from super heavyweight 3 weeks before that to
right.
heavyweight. Yeah. So Aaron's never been, and he faced Wes. And
Wes
Wes
Mena.
was on like a huge knockout streak before that. No one's
Right.
ever been able to drop him, and Nate came in and did that.
Yeah,
So
it was insane. I literally stood at the edge of
no, there
the
won't be a match like that for a long
yeah.
time.
I literally stood at the edge of the stage. And I pointed at Hunter, and I'm like, Hunter, that was the best match I've ever seen. And
Oh,
he was
it's
like,
definitely gonna get fight of the year. Like,
yeah,
mark my words, we'll clip this. Like it was fight of the night, but it's definitely gonna get fight of the year when they come out with their like annual awards and stuff.
yeah,
Yes, Chelsea
absolutely.
did call it, and then him wanting it showed his performance. It was all hard. There will not be, there won't be a match like that for a long time. I just know it, 100%. Like we've been waiting for this match.
Yeah,
Um, I will say this though, a lot of people the first round was very controversial, but I mean I'm glad it got to continue and like play out the way it did because you guys made history and it was amazing to watch because a lot of people think that it could have been stopped, but it didn't.
No, Nate, he took his time, and a big deal, or something that
That saved the
people,
card. Yes, that should
yeah,
have been the co-main.
I agree, but we'll talk about that later. But but it's testament to the hard work that Nate put in. He, like I said, he's been wanting this. He wants it. He wants to prove that he's not just a gatekeeper. He's someone that is a force to be reckoned with. And unfortunately, he went up against the Bell. He went up against me. I believe he
All
won
top
the
tier.
yeah, I believe he won the match with James Seekman, and I think he was robbed of that, and I believe the brass know that as well. So I don't count
Facts.
that as a loss. When is it not? Right.
Facts.
Uh, but no, it just everything. It was like a full circle moment. Like I was telling Nate, and I was trying to juice him up and everything like that, and then the dude fucking he outdid it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was gonna come down to that, and it was like holy shit. I don't
Yeah.
know. I think I broke my big toe,
Did you?
somehow. Well, yeah, I broke my big toe on that match somehow. Like my whole foot, I can't
You
walk on
didn't
my
even
foot right.
compete.
Yeah, I got. Oh well, I held the. Well, Nate, freaking, I'm holding the pad for Nate, and he's hitting so goddamn
Oh.
hard. My freaking elbow, like he like blew my elbow out too. And then I broke my toe during the match, and I'm getting all sorts of injured for Nate here, but it's worth
Yeah.
it, man. I'll sacrifice the world for that guy. He's a amazing person, amazing athlete. I'm proud of him. I'm glad both of them got fight of the night. I don't think
Yeah.
there's ever been a fight of the night bonus with Power Slap where
I
two
don't
people
think there
got
was. I think that was the first one.
right. But it was like, I looked at Frank. I said, I looked at Frank. I looked at Hunter. And I said, this is definitely the best match we've ever had, and they agreed.
There actually might have been one other time, if I remember, and I'm not too positive. I believe it might have been Manny Muniz and Anthony Blackburn. I feel like they did get fight of the night, but I'm not completely sure. Because at that time, Frank said this, like when I think of Power Slap, this is the match that I envision. And I feel like he did say it was fight of the night, but I don't remember.
I think
But,
I think it was a performance bonus, but they say it's a fight of the night. But I think
but it,
now we
okay,
have
so now there's an actual title. So they both got
right,
performances. Okay, cool, cool.
right.
If Power Slap doesn't bring Ryan as a permanent coach, they're missing a huge opportunity. Look, Nate, I don't know if you were here earlier. I was saying like, and I didn't know if Ryan wanted this public, and I spoke on it anyway. Um, I interview a lot of people, and we know when the newcomers come in and they have their performances, they're like, I owe a lot to Ryan. They reach out to him privately, and Ryan never gloats or talks about it. But he does a lot behind the scenes.
Yeah, and I will continue. I'm actually after this interview, I'm one of the girls is gonna we're gonna be video chatting and training together after this
Yes, I
call.
love
So,
that. We need Robert
uh,
and Ryan to coach overseas. Yes, we need them for Abu Dhabi.
man,
You got your
Robert,
passport?
yeah, I'm good to
Well,
go.
tell Big Frank.
I
Wake
try.
up,
I
Big
want.
Frank. I'm ready to go.
I know. I'd love to go to Abu Dhabi for the 31st card. That would be so cool. Halloween. But then again, I'm hearing like it's boring out there too. So I don't know.
So wait, they'll have the Abu Dhabi card. I'm assuming, but I don't know because don't make an ass out of you and me, whatever. Since they're like literally one weekend and the next, they might have them the same coach because they're already over there. So it's cheaper for the company just to fly them from Abu Dhabi to Saudi Arabia than to try to fly someone else in. But I don't know. They could do that. I don't know.
No, they already have the coaches confirmed. So
Oh,
I
that's
won't
the
be there.
T. Clock it. All right. Okay. So let's move on. Incredible match. Can never say enough good things about their match and Nate and Aaron as people.
Wow.
Incredible all around.
I
We got.
I cried in public because of that match. That's how incredible it was. It's pure violence, but it was so beautiful. It was amazing. It was just an amazing moment. I'm privileged to be out there with Nate and Aaron, and also Robert Trujillo because if it wasn't also for Robert, we probably wouldn't have had that match like end up like that. So
Yes.
to have just that those people all on the same stage all at once, it was just a magical moment. It's so well deserved.
Match
Congratulations.
made in heaven. Yeah. I'm so geeked that like that they brought you back. That's why I was like, hey, can you do the recap with me?
I know you came out of retirement right when they announced it, so I'm appreciated. I love it. Yeah, we did. We did.
Yes. Okay, so all right, we got Turpin and Stevie Ray Ellis. First of all, when they announced this match, I'm not even gonna lie. I said, "What the fuck?" Like, I didn't say nothing like publicly on our platforms or nothing, but like in my head, I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" Like Turpin and, um, sorry, Turpin and I'm thinking of it was like Russell. There we go. Because I was thinking Kai. I always want to call him Kai, but Turpin and Russell, like they fucking had history since season one. They were like booked like 3 times. Like why weren't they not fighting? Now it makes sense. Russell has another match with Logan. Logan's gonna be a battle for him too because I watched his last match and everything. But
Oh,
I
Logan's
feel
not.
like at the time I was like I felt like there were other worthy opponents for Austin Turpin. Steve Morales was a middleweight on season 3. We haven't seen him since season 3, and I believe that match ended in a disqualification. But then you sit back and you take time to look at the big picture, and I'm like the energy that these guys bring, it's going to be incredible. And I feel like I was kind of hard on Turpin on my live stream, and I do apologize. I do feel bad for that because then I watched the post show conference and it kind of sunk in with me. He was frustrated because Stevie kept flinching, and there's like nothing you can do about that if someone doesn't want to get hit. Because I feel like everyone was also expecting a knockout in that match. I think Stevie was a huge underdog. Another guy that I feel like should have been maybe on an undercard. Stevie, he's the only place he's been was in the Apex on the show. But his energy is a little crazy. Turpin's a little crazy. Frank did announce that Turpin is moving to heavyweight he's going to be moving up to heavyweight from there, and it didn't live up to his expectations.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I felt bad because I feel like I was a little bit hard on Turpin on that, but understanding it now, like watching it back and hearing what he's got to say about it, like there's really not like I feel like Stevie was trying to roll with it. He was rolling too early. Turpin couldn't get his hands on him.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I mean, when I was up there with Turpin, usually me and him are coasting. We're pretty much locked in together. But he was frustrated up there. Um, it's one. Stevie Ray was rolling with it. He did have a perfect roll or two, so it wasn't really flinching in my opinion when I looked at it. He had some perfect like because you can like there's a way you can like loosen your face up and then when it comes just at the very last second you move with it and it takes if you do it right it takes a lot of power away and Stevie kind of had he didn't have it down in the first hit 2 hits but he started to figure out the timing, and I guess that was frustrating Terp. In my opinion, Terp really has never had that much power to begin with. I think the people that he has knocked out were at the time susceptible. You know, with Allen, Allen was extremely nervous against Terp, and he wasn't really dialed in. So that's a knockout there, and then but I didn't really I wasn't expecting a knockout. It's kind of weird to say. I wasn't really expecting a knockout. I was expecting Terp to win, but I was expecting Terp to win on experience alone. And Stevie Ray. I mean, I knew why the matchup was set up because Stevie Ray is a maniac, and
Yeah.
Turpin also can be a maniac. So that was putting those two together obviously would be great. And but it ended up not being the match they I guess expected it to be because
Yeah.
Turpin didn't really blow him out. Stevie Ray was a 185er before this
Yes.
match too, and then Turpin comes in at what 219.
15.5 pounds overweight. So of the 206 pound limit, I believe.
Yeah, and I don't know what's going on with Turpin, and I don't really want to comment on
I
the
don't
this
either.
weight
He's talked
issue.
about it on his post show conference, so refer to that on the Power Slap page if you want to hear about it.
Yeah, I don't I was rooting for Turpin. I wanted
Yeah.
Turpin to make weight. I mean every time that Turpin's up there, I'm rooting for him. I want him to he's one of the guys that can really push this sport into the stratosphere. I mean Frank said it himself. He's perfect for this. So I always root for Turpin to make weight. I always root for Turpin to do good, and I there's nothing bad I want to say about Turpin. But
No, outside of character, like I met him and I've interviewed him and got to speak to him. He is a really nice person.
he's a good
And I
dude.
think he's great for the sport too. So that's why, like, I felt bad I was kind of being hard on him. And that's just a fan coming out of me.
Yeah,
And I really always do wish him well. Well, I wish all you guys well too, but
yeah, everyone, absolutely. Anyone who steps up there, there's a level of respect you have to give. So, but no, Turpin missing weight. I don't know what's going on in the background. I hope he does get it together. Well, then, I mean, right now he has no choice, right? He's in heavyweight, so stakes and weights for Turpin. He's got a lot of competition in that heavyweight division that are foaming at the mouth to get a piece. I would love to see a Dorian DTP Perez versus Turpin match at
oh,
some
that
point.
would be insane.
That would be freaking phenomenal. I'd advocate for that. I know Dorian would love that. But we'll see. We'll see what's next for Turpin. It wasn't the great. It wasn't the best performance. It's something that probably should be forgotten. As far as Stevie Ray is concerned, congratulations to him for making it this far and going up there and actually bringing it to a decision.
Hmm.
Being the smaller guy as he was at a disadvantage, and especially with the experience. But he came in and he proved that he belongs here. He was doing his thing. He made. I was watching him going ham to Dana, and Dana was in tears. Dana was. I've never seen Dana laughing that hard. But for Steve, my advice to Stevie is turn it down just a little bit. It was a little much. But he needs to figure it out, turn it down, and stop doing the fucking Ric Flair woo every 5 minutes. He ruined it for me. All I hear in my sleep is Stevie Ray fucking wooing. At the after party, he was wooing like every 2 seconds, like it was like an alarm clock
Oh, no shit.
in the fountain blue. He was like drinking a little too much. But Stevie, turn it down just a little bit. Kind of refine your character a little bit. But hey, we'll see him back.
Yes. Yes, I love it. Okay. And then we have this last match. This was the I feel like this rivalry dragged on a little bit longer than it should have. Love both these guys. The only reason why I say it dragged on longer than it was supposed to because I feel like they were supposed to fight last March, but then like injury happened and this and that and cards didn't happen. They got moved, whatever the case may be. Because they first fought last December. Isaiah got the belt in October. I think he turned around. They got like a 3 week notice call after Isaiah got the belt. Um, they fought. Isaiah won. They both said that they would fight each other again because it's short notice, and then they rematched January, February. I don't know. They had a rematch, and Isaiah lost his belt. Sorry, I'm
No,
trying to get
you're
used to
hey,
this kind of things.
you're doing
Yeah,
really
so then
well.
they
I'm actually quite impressed that you remember all of this. So I'm just sitting here like, all right, let's go,
I got a whole
Diana.
power slap history encyclopedia in my brain.
You're killing it. I'm like, holy shit, I'm just blown away right now. Just sitting back. Keep on going.
Yeah, it was October 24th last year, then December 10th or 12th, one of those. I'm very close to dates if I'm not spot on. But anyway, um, rivalry is finally put to bed. I do want to say that I want to tread lightly here because I know emotions are still super high. And I just want to say to Brandon, I saw the photos that he posted. His face is broken. I just want to wish him well, a speedy recovery. We never love to see anybody get an injury at all. Like I said, when Chelsea's nose was shattered, I was mortified. And it takes you out of the game for a while and just like, are you going to be able to come back after that? So I wish him well, wish him a speedy recovery. Don't know what that process is going to be like here. I know emotions are still high. They're still going a little bit back and forth. So not really sure if the rivalry is completely put to bed there. But Isaiah walked away as the champion. Extremely excited for him and heartbroken for Brandon at the same time. So it's kind
Yeah.
of like the same with Nate and Aaron. And that's what I will say about that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely an emotional roller coaster. I think everyone in the league likes both Isaiah and Brandon. I mean, Brandon, he when he first started, he was, just one of the most fired up guys, trying to he was championship mentality even before he joined Power Slap. This guy was just, he was working hard. He was talking right. He was presenting himself very well, and he did excellent in season two. I mean, he was the face of season two, in my opinion. So Brandon is he's one of the greats. You have to give it to him. He set out to do what he set out to do, and he did it. Now, as far as Isaiah is concerned, Isaiah has been in this game for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Russian
Yeah,
Slap Show. He had 8 matches, 8-0 before he came to Power Slap.
yeah. I mean, this guy is as seasoned as they come. So, I mean, anyone going up against Isaiah is, in for a very long night. so, but Brandon had his number. Brandon had his number the second time. Isaiah beat him the first, and then it went back and they did it again, and Brandon had his number the second time, and he put in the work and he showed the dedication and he showed that he's a star. But then here you go. We have number three, and everyone's like, oh, geez, another number three. But in my opinion, it shows how great Isaiah is because for Isaiah to lose in that fashion and then come back and then win in the fashion that he did, it's like wow, this guy he deserves a championship. Like who in the division right now is gonna you know give give this guy a run, give Isaiah a
Yeah.
run. I know he didn't do well in light heavy, but who did he face? He faced Russell, who's
Russell.
a maniac.
Yeah.
And he also faced someone in the very beginning, which is this is very odd. Like everyone forgets this guy. I don't even
Joker.
I don't even remember the fucking dude's name, honestly.
Oh.
But
I
it
know
was
he fought Joker.
huh?
He fought
No,
Joker
no,
before that.
Isaiah's very first match in Power Slap.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, it was like this guy who I want to say he was from Iran. I forget, but he was like lying to his family that he was in America, and like it was this whole debacle with this guy. It was crazy, but he got him in the first, and you know it's crazy. It's crazy to see how far Isaiah has come, even still, because he's been he's had some matches that didn't go his way, but
Yeah,
his
first two.
determination, heart, and grit are second to none. I mean the guy's coming back better than ever every time he loses. So it's Isaiah. Shout out to Isaiah. He's kicking ass, and but shout out to Brandon, man. He
He
deserves to
puts it in
be here.
work.
Yeah, he puts in fucking work. He's once again someone that I believe is power slap. I think he should take some time. He should heal up. Probably step away from everything power slap for a little bit, maybe like a month, and get the hunger back because it will come back. As someone who's retired, the hunger will be there. It never dies. It'll come back, Brandon. So, take
Maybe.
take your time. No, no, it'll come back.
No, I'm saying
Take,
maybe. Sorry, keep going.
no, I'm sorry, but yeah, I mean, Brandon, just take some time, heal up, give it some time, have fun, take a break with your family, and then think about it. Think about what you want to do, but I don't want to see him retire. He should not. He belongs here.
I don't either. I think he's a very great competitor for the middleweight division.
Yeah.
Um, Going back to Isaiah, his two losses were in Power Slap. Oh, he only lost in Power Slap. He didn't lose on the Russian Slap show. They were at light heavyweight, so middleweight is a good division for him. He
Right.
does have aspirations to move back up one day. We'll see, but it's Nikolai Solchich.
Nikolai, right.
Yes.
Absolutely, yep. When he fought Nikolai, it was it was a weird match, but like I said, seeing Isaiah just persevere and just want it more and more, even after losses, it's just that's champion mentality. The guy deserves to be a champion.
Yes. He got I don't even think we really, I mean, I don't think we heard much from him. But I mean, we saw him coaching and stuff, but he was just real quiet working this since he lost his belt.
Yeah, when I saw Isaiah over the week, he was very he wasn't very not like himself. I'd say he's kind of like a really cheery guy. He's really nice. You know, you can definitely talk with him and stuff like that. But you could tell he was super locked in for this one. I mean, he looked angry. He looked like he was possessed. He wanted it bad. You know, he wanted that belt back, and I don't blame him. You know, that's the whole point of this is to get that belt.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, they both look
congratulations.
angry and possessed on their walkouts.
Yeah, I mean, they did not like each other, that's for sure. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, the sportsmanship did come through for both of them. I saw them embrace in the locker room afterwards. It was actually a very nice moment. But you know, I hope Brandon does not give up. I hope Brandon actually learns something from Isaiah and uses that grit and determination that he has himself to get back up there. And hopefully one day we'll have a number four. I'd like to see a number four. I didn't want to see a number three, but I'm actually interested in a number four.
You didn't want to see three?
I like you said, you know, it was going on for too long.
Yeah.
I think there was other guys that were, you know, I think the way that Isaiah lost previously, probably should have someone go up and tried to take Brandon, and then Isaiah needed another match to get there.
Well,
Um,
okay, go ahead.
go
Go ahead.
ahead. No, go
Well,
ahead.
I was gonna say, just to be fair, like I said, with their first match, like Isaiah got the belt from John, and then I feel like it was like they took the fight on like 11 or 18 days notice or something like that. And the way that Isaiah and Brandon's second match ended, it ended the same exact way, but opposite
Right.
for the first match. So I felt like it was fair. I just felt like the rivalry was dragged on too long just because of everything that happened in between why they couldn't fight. So I think at that point, like Power Slap still had to push it forward because of the storyline behind it. But it just one got injured, the other one got whatever happened. Events got canceled, and
Yeah, I honestly, in my opinion, I think after the second Brandon versus Isaiah match, I think John Davis should have been in the conversation
yes,
somewhere.
yes,
Yeah, I think what happened to John Davis after he lost the title, and him not really getting any sort of like a rematch clause or anything of that, um, I don't agree with because John
mm-hmm.
Davis is one of the greats. He's definitely the
Yeah,
middleweight goat in my opinion. But you know, now the door is wide open. You know, if
yeah.
Brandon is seriously thinking about retirement, you know, I think, you know, someone has to step in and take on Isaiah. Um, I myself have made a little addition myself to the 185ers. I actually recruited someone that is very special.
Who?
Coming into play for the 185. You'll see him in the next card. Um,
The T.
but yeah, the alligator is here. Well, let's just say that.
Oh, oh, I think I know who that is. He was like a champion somewhere else, right?
Yep.
Okay, it's gonna
My buddy.
it's gonna stir the pot and make things like really exciting. I will say this though, Isaiah did say like in that time of their trilogy, he did say that he did feel like John Davis's name still deserves to be in the mix.
Yes.
So
It should.
there
It
was no disrespect there. I just think with their rivalry, it kind of got put in the back.
No, Isaiah's not a disrespectful guy, and Isaiah
Hmm.
knows. Isaiah knows the sport. I mean, he's been in this longer than I have. So Isaiah, you know, I think Isaiah definitely will make the right call, depending on who is next. I believe John Davis should be up there, next. Um, but you know, we'll see. We'll see what they think. They always make their own decisions. I
Yeah,
never can
I
tell
think
what they're
he's on a
thinking.
medical something right now because of his MMA fight, but because that's
Yeah.
why he was supposed to fight Brandon Rhodes and then that happened or something like that. But anyway, yeah, great card, amazing card. The cards keep getting better and better every single time. I'm just kind of sad that I wasn't there, but at the same time, I was glad I was home because I had a lot going on and all that. Um, we did get a new rankings, and I'll just kind of go over some of the changes. And let me see. We did get new rankings. No changes to the lightweight division. To the welterweight division, Cole Young, Chris Thomas, Andrew Provost, and Zach Sane all moved up. Um, Zach Sane went up 3 spots, but the other guys I just named went up 1 spot. Chris Debo went up one spot, and we have a surprise that I think is extremely interesting because we have not seen this person in a long time. But Ryan Wallace made the welterweight rankings, which he fought at light heavyweight and middleweight. So that's super interesting. Um, Middleweight rankings, Brandon moves down one, Isaiah becomes champ. Brandon Rhodes, hats off to you, moves up 5 spots. They moved John Davis down to number 4. KLE moved down to moved down 1 spot. Stunt Marshall moves up 4 spots. He moves to number 6. And then Wesley, AJ, Garrett, and Eddie moved down all 1 spot. Light heavyweight stayed the same. Heavyweight division, Jordan Oasis and Johnny Magna move up to not rank. I have a question for you. Okay.
Yeah.
So Johnny Magna, did he tell you to shut the F up? I
Yes,
thought
he
I saw in
did.
a video, like after his performance. I thought I saw that in a clip. I was like, is he talking to Ryan?
He did. Yes, I called him a curly haired bitch. So
Oh,
well
okay. Oh,
deserved.
okay.
Well deserved. Hey, that's what. Hey, we're just making a show, right? You
Yeah.
know.
Hey, we're setting up. Maybe Ryan Phillips will come back. You gotta,
Never
you're,
know.
you're just setting
Hey,
these
I'm in
traps
good
to come
shape.
back.
Knock on wood, I'm in good shape. So who knows? But no, man. That's the point. You want to put on a show. You go up there, you slap someone, you walk back. It's only as entertaining as it is, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't expect it, but I loved it. I'll tell you that I love it.
Yeah.
Come, bring the heat, talk shit. Um, just make a show out of it, get people interested. And Johnny Magna, he's shit that slap he had on my guy, what was his name? South, Ricky South. Um, you know, it was fucking good ass slap, and he's doing really well, man. I'm actually excited for Johnny Magna, and I'm a fan.
Yes. Did you get to talk to him after that? Like after that?
Yeah,
Obviously.
yeah, I did.
You guys are good. It was just like,
Yeah, he came
and I
up.
was like,
He's like it's just a show, man. It's just a show. I'm like, bro, that's yeah, exactly. I love that type of stuff. People don't understand when we're on there and up at the stage. This is something that this is a new sport. We got to get attention. We got to get eyes on it, and any way possible that we can make this, exciting, or have some sort of rivalry or storyline based that we can build off of. It's perfect for me. It's perfect, and I loved what Johnny Magna did, and I love what he's doing, and like I said, I'm a
yes.
fan.
Yeah, same. And he's Puerto Rican, which there's not a lot of Puerto Ricans. We got the Puerto Rican pretty boy and then Johnny Magna.
Oh, let's go to Puerto Rico, baby. Hell
Yes.
yeah.
Literally every time Isaiah won, then I was like in the meeting room. I'm like, Frank, when you got another, he won. When are you gonna go to Puerto Rico?
And congratulations on being a part of this like that. I remember when you
Oh,
first
thank you.
started. You wanted to get there, and you got there. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. I appreciate you. You've been supporting me since day one. Okay. But then we have the super heavyweight rankings. Juicy moved up 1 spot. He's number 6. We have
Cool.
Cedrice, not ranked, moved to number 7. Zach Lansing and James Reddy moved to number 9 and 10.
Oh, James is on the rankings. Excellent. James is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I hung out with him pretty much the whole week with Danny the Pitbull. Gained a couple pounds with those super heavies, eating all the freaking time. Jesus. But definitely look out for James Reddy. He'll come back stronger. That match was intense because James hurt. He blew his arm out. He like broke his arm in the first slap because
Damn.
Cedric leaned into it really hard, and it did get called as a flinch. And there was actually 2 flinches in the first round, so Cedric was at a very big disadvantage right off the rip. But then again, so was James because his arm was shattered. But this big house freaking would wanted to go back up there and throw that hand. He's just throwing the same injured hand over and over and over again. The
Damn.
toughness of James Reddy is unparalleled. So
Yeah.
definitely watch out for him, and definitely watch out for Cedric too. I didn't really get to talk with him too much or get to know him too much, but stellar performance. That slap was loud and powerful. It sounded like a shotgun blast on the stage. Holy smokes!
Yes. Love it. I can't wait for the full match to come out. Um, okay, so we have Abu Dhabi coming up, which so far they have announced Wolverine versus Alan Klingbeil, Dumpling versus McKinney Manu. I am so excited. Well, first of all, I'm excited for Wolverine and Allen, but like McKinney Manu, I felt has been disrespected since day one. And he's finally getting the respect that he deserves. So I'm so excited about this, and I feel like whoever wins this is getting the Hawaiian Hitman next. We got West Mina versus Darius the Destroyer. That's gonna be
Oh,
another heavyweight banger. I'm sure you're gonna be watching that one.
I
And
love
then
both of
Russell
them.
Rivera versus Logan Greenhall.
Oh,
That's
that's
all they've
done.
announced for Abu Dhabi so far. And then we have Saudi Arabia the next week. Anthony Blackburn rematching Cole Young. That is Anthony's only draw. Anything negative, that's the only blemish on his record. I know he's dying to keep his belt and get that get that O back. And then we
Yeah,
have your boy DTP versus the Kier.
let's go.
Uh, that's going to be a heavyweight banger. DTP is as tough as they fucking come.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Oh, he's stoked. He's
Yeah.
he's he's ripping. He's ready to go. That's my little brother, so I'm excited for that one, and I know he's gonna come out with the win. You know, a little secret, but DTP's about to win this one.
Then we got our girl Sheena versus Robin. And then
I am so
Azael.
stoked.
Yeah.
I'm so stoked for Sheena to come back.
Yes.
She's I call her the queen of queens. You know, she was right up there with me. You know, she listens to a lot of things I say, and I'm gonna be working with her for this one as well. And I just want to see her get that hardware. I want to see her make history. She already has, but you know, she can make more, and you know, I want to see her. I'm a not only am I a big fan of Sheena, but I'm a big friend of hers as well.
Yeah. Nothing would make me happier than watching Sheena get the first women's belt in Power Slap. And it's
Absolutely.
no discredit to anybody in the 145 division. I just feel like it's almost like Rob Trujillo. Like,
Oh,
it would
yeah,
not be the right
exactly.
story if anybody else besides him got the lightweight belt.
Yeah,
That's how I feel about Sheena.
Rob should have had the belt like 2 years ago. He should have
Yeah.
had that. So yeah, absolutely. You know, when they were thinking about giving Paige a belt before Sheena, I was like, this is ridiculous. You know, I understand Paige Van Zandt, and no disrespect to her at all. She's definitely a major face in the company.
Yes.
But you know, to give Sheena a chance at that first, that is, in my opinion, is the right way to go because she's put in a lot of work and sacrifice for Power Slap as well. I mean, she also coached season one. I mean, she's
Hmm.
been around, so it's only fair that Sheena gets a shot at the title. I hope hopefully she gets the first shot at the title and she gets the title. So yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
That's what we just hope and pray on. And then we got Azael versus Andrew Provost. Azael's in
Oh,
his new weight class, welterweight, against Andrew Provost. So those are nice, exciting fights coming up in the next couple weeks. I can't believe they went 3 months with nothing, and then they'll have, three fights within 3, 4 weeks of each other. But it's exciting. Love to see it. Hopefully, they just keep them rolling every couple weeks instead of, or like every other week or once a month or something instead of taking off a couple months. But yeah,
yeah.
you got anything new and exciting going on? Are you gonna bring back your podcast, bare fisted, anything?
Oh, wow. You know, there's been talks. You know, we always talk about it. There's a possibility. Yeah, yeah. We've been talking
Yes, I
about
love
it.
it. I know I was such a big fan of that. But yeah, and I just feel like you being retired and gone, you're like, oh, whatever. But like now you got brought back into it, it probably brings up a lot of old feelings and like, hey, I kind of do miss this. I kind of want to be back here. So
Yeah, you know, it was fun, and I think the sport is now growing, and it might be time. It could be time to bring it back. It could be time for me to come back. Who knows? You know, there's a lot of things going on right now. You know, it was very surprising to get that call to be asked to coach this event. Absolutely, I agree with you. You know, it's really surprising to me. So you know, who knows what they're thinking? It's all for me. I can't think about what they're thinking because I found out you'll just never know.
yeah,
So I'm just gonna sit by the phone and see what's next for them. If they offer me something that is lucrative to me, you know, I don't really want just any normal fight. You know, I think I'm at the point to where, you know, like one of my interviews I did, I I told the story about how I called out Antonio Bigfoot Silva from the UFC, and the reaction just to that alone, everyone's like, "Holy shit, you're a maniac!" And I love that type of stuff. I love going up against guys who are just absolute monsters, and I'm this 7-1 underdog, and I go up there and I prove everyone wrong. So give me some big matches, and I'll be there.
Hey, maybe you need to run you and Nate back.
You know, that is actually very funny because today when I woke up, it's like I'm like, man, maybe a Nate and Ryan rematch could happen. Um and I would totally give him that if that were to come about because he's improved so much. I would love to see what he could do against me now, and especially since we're training together. So, I mean, that's perfect. But I'm also looking forward to Darius the Destroyer versus Wes Mena, because
Yes,
I
legend.
also went up against Darius and won, but in my opinion I didn't win. It was a DQ. It was
Hmm.
like Darius beat himself. Um, I would be very open to giving Darius a run back. After Wes's fight, I would be
Legacy.
very open to that. I would be open to that.
Yes, I love it. Well, Ryan, I just want to say thank you so much for being here. I hope we get to see you back on the Power Slap stage. I really do hope that they keep calling you for coaching. Actually, hold on one second. When you said that you were surprised you got the call, I was not surprised. In my head, I was thinking, I saw you at SLS. I was like, I'm not going to be surprised if I see King Ryan Phillips back.
Well, you want to hear something funny? I'll tell you a story. So, went to SLS. Hanging out with the champ. It was one of the hottest days that we've ever had here in Cleveland. But some guy, I think he was a rapper. Some guy had like a heat stroke, and
Oh, wow.
and me, I'm a person who runs into the fire. So I immediately jumped on the guy. Started. I had a handful of ice, put it on his back. Started like telling him calm down. Everything will be all right. And then people were trying to pick him up. I'm yelling at people to sit him down because he was just like a limp body. All the while I'm doing this, Frank is watching me the whole time, and I got up and he gave me like a pound. You know what I mean? And I think I just got Frank's respect again, or something. And
Yeah.
then here I am coaching again. So I feel like you'll be seeing me around. I'm hoping at least, but I feel like you'll be seeing me around a lot more.
Love it. Hey, maybe we'll see you as a cut man. That's like cut man shit. Or a
Oh,
catch or
take
release.
Tate's job. Cutman Tate. That's Cutman Tate's job. That's not mine.
The king cut man. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. I hope we get to talk again soon, and I hope we get to. I'm glad that you're saying that we get to see you around. So, I hopefully it's not too
I'm
long.
hoping. I,
Yeah.
I, I don't I don't know for sure. I'm hoping, but I think what were able to produce with PS15 with me and Robert coaching, I think it was special. And I think that's going to resonate, and hopefully it'll bring me back.
Yes. I love it. I can't wait. All right. I'll
Awesome.
talk to you soon.
All right, Petty. Petty out.
Stay petty, bitches. I stopped saying that, but
Yeah, you gotta
now I
bring
might
it
have to
back.
bring it back since you're back.